Good morning students. I hope you are all doing good. Let us see what we are going to discuss in today's class. Good morning students. In previous class we have completed up to anomalous properties of nitrogen. Like this we will get in the terms of anomalous properties of oxygen in next group as well as anomalous properties of fluorine in 17th group also we will get. Okay, so almost same reasons will be continued there also. Because of small size, first one, because of small size, because of no d orbitals are present in this first atom. In nitrogen we have no d orbitals, and because of very small size. Okay, these are the characteristics kept that nitrogen properties are little bit different from remaining elements properties in that group, 15th group. Is it okay, ma? Those anomalous properties of nitrogen we have completed in previous class. Now we will go through our next side heading, how these elements are going to react with hydrogen. That means first one. Up to now we have gone through anomalous properties. Now chemical properties, these group elements are going to react with hydrogen. Next, these group elements are going to react with oxygen. How these group elements are going to react with halogens. Like that, after one completion we will go to next one. Like that we will see, ma. Okay, now let us see what about reactivity towards hydrogen. All the elements of group 15 form hydrates of the type EH3. Reaction with hydrogen, these compounds will form hydrates in the form of EH3. Example, NH3, PH3, ASH3, SBH3, okay, and BiH3, where E is equal to nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony or bismuth. If you keep any one element, according to that corresponding compound will be obtained. Okay, some of the properties of these hydrates are shown in table, this tabular column 7.2. Hydrates show regular gradation in their properties. The stability of hydrates decreases from NH3 to BiH3. Top to bottom, what happened to stability decreases, which can be observed from their bond dissociation enthalpy. What is that, ma? Bond dissociation enthalpy. See here. Energy required to break the bond. Energy required to break the bond is called bond energy or bond dissociation energy. Energy required to break the bond is called bond energy or bond dissociation energy. Okay, now top to bottom, what happened to stability of hydrates? Decreases. Stability of hydrates decreases because NH3, PH3, ASH3, SBH3, BiH3. Hydrogens are same only, but central atom nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth, these are getting changed. In first compound, hydrogens are bonded to small central atom. Next, phosphorus is bigger than nitrogen. Size increases for central atom. Next, AS, furthermore size increases. SB, furthermore size increases. Bismuth, very big. Is it correct or not? Top to bottom, what happened to size of the central atom now? Increases. Then distance between nucleus of central atom and this bond pair is less in case of nitrogen. This is nitrogen, sorry. Distance between nucleus and this bond pair is less in nitrogen. Then attraction is strong. So this nitrogen will hold the hydrogen strongly with strong bond. So it requires more amount of energy to break this bond. That means here high bond dissociation enthalpy. Here somewhat less bond dissociation enthalpy because size of the central atom is increased. When size of the central atom is increased, distance between this bond pair and this nucleus increases, so the bond can be broken down easily in pH3 when compared to NH3. Next, in ASH3 the bond can be broken furthermore easily. In SbH3 furthermore easy. Here very easily we can remove the hydrogen. That means the bond can be broken down easily. So top to bottom, what happened to bond dissociation enthalpy of central atom and hydrogen? Decreases. When bond dissociation enthalpy is decreased, that bond is weaker bond. When the bond is weak, the molecule is less stable. Is it correct or not? When the bonds are weak, the molecule is less stable. Is it correct or not? So top to bottom, what happened to stability of these hydrides? Decreases. Now once again, let us see that point. Hydrides show regular gradation in their properties. Stability of hydrides decreases from NH3 to BiH3, which can be observed from their bond dissociation enthalpy. Consequently, the reducing character of the hydrides increases. Okay, when the bond dissociation enthalpy is decreased, reducing character increases. Ammonia is only a mild reducing agent, while BiH3 is the strongest reducing agent. Now, what about this reducing agent? Let us concentrate on this one. Observe here carefully. Reducing agent will reduce others. The agent which reduces others is called reducing agent. When it is reducing others, it will undergo oxidation. Reducing agent will undergo oxidation. Is it correct or not? Reducing agent will undergo oxidation because reducing agent will reduce others. If it is going to reduce others, it will undergo oxidation. Losing of hydrogen is called oxidation. Losing of hydrogen is called oxidation. The substance which can lose hydrogen easily is undergoing oxidation easily. All of you observe what is the nature of oxidation in this case. Actually, oxidation is of three types. By using three types of definitions, we can tell oxidation reaction. Okay, gaining of oxygen is called oxidation, losing of hydrogen is called oxidation, losing of electrons is also called oxidation. Like the three definitions are there to define oxidation. Here, these are hydrides, na? With respect to hydrogen, I am telling here. With respect to hydrogen, losing of hydrogen is called oxidation. That is the nature of oxidation with respect to hydrogen. Substance which can lose hydrogen easily, that means if that nature is happened easily, that is undergoing oxidation easily. The substance which can lose hydrogen easily is undergoing oxidation easily. The substance which will undergo oxidation easily is better reducing agent. Because what is the nature of reducing agent? reducing agent, nature is it will undergo oxidation. If it undergoes oxidation easily, then it is called strong reducing agent. If it undergoes oxidation not easily, then that is weak reducing agent. So these are all interlinked definitions, ma. Substance which can lose the hydrogen easily, that one will undergo oxidation easily. So it is better reducing agent. Now by seeing the points, answer my question. Out of these hydrates, which one can lose the hydrogen easily? Which one can lose the hydrogen easily? Here, bismuth, ma. BiH3, last one. Why this one is going to lose the hydrogen easily? Because bond dissociation enthalpy is very less. It can lose the hydrogen easily. It is less stable. So it is going to lose the hydrogen easily. The substance which lose hydrogen easily is undergoing oxidation easily, and it is called better reducing agent. So top to bottom, what happened to the reducing character increases. So this is the best reducing agent in the group. BiH3 is best reducing agent in group 15. BiH3 is best reducing agent in group 15. NH3 is weak reducing agent. Top to bottom, that reducing character increases. Because here bond is very strong, it cannot donate H plus that hydrogens easily. BiH3 can donate the hydrogens easily. Is it okay, ma? So stability is inversely proportional to reducing character. Stability of the compound is inversely proportional to reducing character. When the compound is less stable, it is the best reducing agent. Less stable means higher reducing character. Stability is less, this is high. When this is low, reducing character is low, stability is high. Like that we can write. Note down these points carefully, all of you. Reducing agent will reduce others. Reducing agent will undergo oxidation. Losing of hydrogen is called oxidation. Substance which can lose hydrogen easily is undergoing oxidation easily is better reducing agent. Is it okay, ma? All of you? So now we will see the points. Ammonia is only a mild reducing agent, while BiH3 is strongest reducing agent among all the hydrates. Basicity also decreases in the order. NH3 is greater than PH3, PH3 is greater than ASH3, ASH3 is greater than SBH3, is greater than or equal to BH3. Due to high electronegativity and small size of nitrogen, NH3 exhibits hydrogen bonding in solid as well as liquid state also. Because of this, it has higher melting and boiling points than that of PH3. Here, substance which can lose the hydrogen easily is acidic in nature. Substance which can lose the hydrogen easily is acidic in nature. So top to bottom, acidic nature increases, basic nature decreases. This one can lose the hydrogen easily, na? It is behaving like acidic in nature. It is acidic in nature. So top to bottom, we can tell acidic nature increases means basic nature decreases. So basic nature order is NH3 is greater than, basic nature order is NH3 is greater than, PH3 is greater than, ASH3 is greater than, SBH3 is greater than BiH3. This is basic strength order. That only they give. NH3 is greater than, almost this one is almost greater than or equal to ma. NH3 is greater than PH3, PH3 is greater than ASH3, is greater than SBH3, greater than or equal to BiH3. Okay, next. Due to high electronegativity and small size of nitrogen. You know that hydrogen bond we have explained in chemical bond chapter. Okay, from that 11th class chapter we can understand that To form the hydrogen bond, we need high electronegative atoms like fluorine, oxygen, nitrogen. High electronegative atoms like fluorine, oxygen and nitrogen. These three elements only they can form hydrogen bond. Okay, so here nitrogen is there. Because of its high electronegativity and small size of nitrogen, NH3 exhibits hydrogen bonding in solid as well as liquid state. Because of it has higher melting and boiling points than that of BH3. Okay, it has strong intermolecular hydrogen bond. Because of that, it has higher melting point and boiling point. Now this is the order of the stable column showing the characteristics. Melting point of NH3, PH3, ASH3, SBH3. EH distance means bond length here. 101, top to bottom bond length increases 101.7, 141.9, 151.9, 170.7. Because central atom size increases automatically bond length also increases. Bond angle, this is the order. Dissociation enthalpy, top to bottom increases. 1 minute This is delta means heat of formation This is dissociation enthalpy. 389, 322, 297, 255 decreased. Top to bottom it is decreased. This is bond dissociation enthalpy. This is heat of formation. This is about reactivity towards hydrogen. I hope you are clear, Next, reactivity towards oxygen. Let us see what about reactivity towards oxygen. All these elements form two types of oxides, E2O3 and E2O5. Example, P2O3 and P2O5. AS2O3 and AS2O5. Like the two types of oxides can be formed by almost all the elements. The oxide in the higher oxygen state of the element is more acidic than that of lower oxygen state. The oxide in the higher oxygen state of the element is more acidic than that of lower oxygen state. For example, I am taking P2O3 and P2O5. Both are non-metallic oxides. Both are belonging to oxide of phosphorus only. Non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. But out of these two compounds, which is strong acid and which is stronger than other? For that only this is the hint. See, oxide in the higher oxygen state of the element is more acidic. For example, in this what is the oxygen state of phosphorus? 2x minus 6 is equal to 0. Now this finding of oxidation state we have seen in class 11th redox reactions chapter. Okay, 2x is equal to 6, x is equal to plus 3. So what is the phosphorus oxidation number in P2O3? Plus 3. Here 2x minus 10 is equal to 0. 5 into minus 2, minus 10 is equal to 0. 2x equal to 10, x equal to plus 5. Phosphorus in P2O5 oxidation number is plus 5. Phosphorus in P2O3 oxidation number is plus 3. Out of these two compounds, in which compound phosphorus is containing higher oxygen state? Out of these two compounds, in which compound phosphorus has higher oxygen state? So it is acidic in nature. Observe the point. The oxide in the higher oxygen state of the element is more acidic than that of lower oxygen state. Their acidic character decreases down the group. Down the group, what happened to acidic character? Decreases. The oxides of the type E2O3 of nitrogen and phosphorus are purely acidic. Now we are comparing different compounds. Top to bottom compounds of oxides. Nitrogen oxide, phosphorus oxide, bismuth oxide, like that we are comparing. So first two are purely acidic in nature. E2O3 of nitrogen and phosphorus are purely acidic. Arsenic and antimony amphoteric, and those of bismuth predominantly basic. For example, N2O3, P2O3, AS2O3, Sb2O3, Bi2O3. These two compounds are completely acidic. Now we are comparing nitrogen oxide, phosphorus oxide, everything. Here both are belonging to phosphorus only. In that condition, we want to say acidic means oxidation number we want to consider. I hope you are clear. Okay, next, AS2O3 and Sb2O3 are amphoteric in nature. AS2O3 and Sb2O3 are amphoteric in nature. Bi2O3, it is the metallic oxide. Top to bottom, non-metallic character decreases and metallic character increases. Nitrogen and phosphorus are non-metals. Arsenic and strontium are metalloids. Bismuth is metal. Metallic oxide is basic in nature predominantly. So automatically, top to bottom, what happened to SD character decreases and basic character increases. That of arsenic and antimony amphoteric, and those of bismuth predominantly basic. Is it okay, ma? This is about reactivity towards oxygen. Oxides of metals are basic in nature. Oxides of non-metals are acidic in nature. Like this we have studied in our earlier classes. Is it okay, ma? Now, this is the information for you. When we have oxides of same element, two different oxides of same element, P2O3 and P2O5, if you want to say which is strong acid, let us check with oxidation number. In which compound central metal atom has higher oxygen state, that is acidic in nature. So P2O5 is more acidic than P2O3. P2O5 is more acidic than P2O3. That is this point. The oxide in the higher oxygen state of the element is more acidic than that of lower oxygen state. Okay, this is about reactivity towards oxygen. I hope you are clear, ma. We will see reactivity towards halogens. Let us observe. These elements react to form two series of halides. These elements react with oxygen to form oxides. These elements react with hydrogen to form hydrides. These elements react with halogens to form halides. Two types of halides are formed. EX3, halogen is represented by X. Halogen is generally represented by X. X, F, chlorine, bromine, iodine, acetylene, anything might be. So generally halogens are represented with X. So this is of type EX3 and EX5. Example PCl3 and PCl5. Nitrogen does not form pentahalide due to non-availability of the d orbitals. Already we told that nitrogen cannot expand its valency because of absence of d orbitals. Because of absence of d orbitals, nitrogen cannot form valency 5. Is it okay? Now, coming to this point, nitrogen does not form pentahalide due to non-availability of the d orbitals. Nitrogen cannot form pentahalide due to non-availability of the d orbitals in its valence shell. Pentahalides are more covalent than trihalides. This is due to the fact that in pentahalides +5 oxygen state exists, while in the case of trihalides +3 oxygen state exists. Okay, when oxidation state is increased, charge present on that central metal atom also increases, covalent character also increases. Since elements in +5 oxygen state will have more polarizing power than in +3 oxygen state, the covalent character of bonds is more in pentahalides. Okay, I will write here. See. Example PCl3 and PCl5. In PCl3, phosphorus oxidation state is equal to +3. In PCl5, oxidation state of phosphorus equal to +5. Okay, ma? When oxidation state is increased, polarity means charge also increases. When polarity is increased, covalent character also increases. When oxidation state is increased, polarity also increases, covalent character also increases. So out of these two, in which condition phosphorus has higher oxidation state? In +5, PCl5. So PCl5 is more covalent than PCl3. PCl5 is more covalent than PCl3. So you can remember central atom oxidation number, if it is high in oxides, it is more acidic. Like that here, in central metal atom oxidation number is high. In halides, it is more covalent. Like that you can remember. These points are important and they will ask the reasons Okay. Among pentahalides and trihalides, which is more covalent? Or they will say that pentahalides are more covalent than trihalides. Account for the following. Like that they will ask. We need to write that central atom oxidation number is high in pentahalides. Because of that central atom oxidation number is high, it is more polar in nature. Because of more polarity, polarizability increases, automatically it is more covalent in nature. That's why, since elements in +5 oxidation state, will have more polarizing power. 1 minute sorry for this one, not polarity, polarizing power. Not polarity, polarizing power. I will give one conclusion after completion of this explanation. Will have more polarizing power than in +3 oxidation state. The covalent character of bonds is more in pentahalides. All the trihalides of these elements except those of nitrogen are stable. In case of nitrogen, only NF3 is known to be stable. Trihalides except BiF3 are predominantly covalent in nature. Trihalides except BiF3 are predominantly covalent in nature. Is it okay, But when compared to trihalides, pentahalides are more covalent. Even trihalides are also covalent, but when compared to trihalides, pentahalides are more covalent. Now, coming to the conclusion of this polarity and polarizing power. Polarity is directly proportional to ionic nature. Polarizing power is directly proportional to covalent nature. When polarizing power is increased, covalent nature increases. Observe this point carefully. When polarizing power is increased, covalent nature increases. Polarity is directly proportional to ionic nature. Polarizing power is directly proportional to covalent nature. Okay. When oxidation state is increased, polarizing power also increases. Covalent character also increases. PCl5 is more covalent than PCl3. Pentahalides are more covalent than trihalides. And final point here, pentahalides are more covalent than trihalides. Okay ma? And final one, fourth one, reactivity towards metals. First one, reaction with hydrogen, reactivity towards hydrogen. Second one, reactivity towards oxygen. Third one, reactivity towards halogens. And this is fourth one, reactivity towards metals. All these elements react with metals to form their binary compounds exhibiting -3 oxidation state. When they react with metal, generally metals are less electronegative, means less electronegative than these are. So automatically these elements will get minus oxidation state, metals will get plus oxidation state. All these elements react with metals to form their binary compounds exhibiting -3 oxygen states such as Ca3N2 calcium nitride, Ca3P2 calcium phosphide, Na3As sodium arsenide, Zn3Sp2 zinc antimonide, and Mg3Bi2 magnesium bismuthide. That is only very simple. Reaction with metals to form corresponding nitrides, sulfides, phosphides, all these things, in which they will carry negative oxidation number, because metals are less electronegative than any other thing. Okay ma? So metals will get positive and these non-metals will get negative. Out of magnesium and bismuth, magnesium is more electropositive than bismuth. So bismuth is getting negative charge in this case only. Generally bismuth is also metal ma. But out of these two metals, which is more metallic nature? Magnesium. That's why it is getting positive, bismuth is getting negative. Is it okay? That is about chemical properties, oxidation states and trends in chemical reactivity. Under this total category, we have studied these many things. Is it okay, ma? All of you? Up to reactivity towards metals we have seen. Like this we will repeat in next coming groups also. At that time little bit fast I will explain, because in this slowly I explain everything na. Same explanation will be continued there also. So remember these key points very carefully. When charge present on central metal atom is increased, acidic nature increases. Same like that, polarizing power also increases in halides. Then covalent character also increases. Like that, key points very important. Remember them carefully. Okay. Okay ma, up to reactivity with metals we completed. Now according to reducer syllabus, I filtered this whole chapter. Filtered, this means according to the reducer portion. See, whatever the numbers I wrote, those number topics are only present for us. These are only present. These topics we are going to discuss. Is it okay? Now let us see. This is 15th group. In 15th group, this is chapter name 17. Chapter heading 7th chapter this is. So 7.1.1, 7.1.2. Meaning of that one, see once. Under 7.1, 7.1.1 occurrence. 7.1.2. Actually 7.1.3, 7.1.4 were not mentioned, but even though I explained in previous class. Next, even 7.1.5 also. 7.1.6 is there. Physical properties we have discussed already. 7.1.7 chemical properties up to reactivity with metals. Is it okay ma? 7.1.7 we completed up to here. Next we have to go through 7.2. This is 7.2. 7.2 heading we can keep it as compounds of nitrogen. not 7.2 ma, compounds of nitrogen under the 7.2 dinitrogen. In textbook they gave different compounds of nitrogen, but in that we are going to study 7.2, 7.3. 7.2 comes under dinitrogen. 7.3 is ammonia. Completely we are going to study 7.2, 7.3. 7.4 was removed. At that time I will say, for your understanding, just for your reference purpose I told like this. Now which topic we are going to study? 7.2, that is dinitrogen. Let us see preparation. Here onwards they will give one compound and how it is going to be prepared, what are the properties. These are all chemical equations only. Explanation part is very less. Please understand all of you. Once again I am telling that explanation part is very less, because one equation if I take NH4Cl plus NaNO2 gives rise to N2 plus 2H2O plus NaCl. If I take this explanation, any explanation is required? No, we need to go through that equation. Is it correct or not? Like that only this is happening. Explanation part is completed. Chemical reactivity, every point I have taken and I explained every point. Is it correct? Now if it is equation simply I will read that equation. You have to practice that equation. That is only important point. This is only major part. Those who can practice and remember these equations, it will be okay. Equation part 50% and explanation part 50% in this chapter. Explanation part means logically you can remember, but equation part we have to by heart and we have to remember. No other way. Is it okay Now coming with dinitrogen. First we are going to discuss preparation of dinitrogen. Dinitrogen is nothing but N2 only. Dinitrogen is nothing but N2 only. Preparation. Dinitrogen is produced commercially. Commercially means laboratory for getting profits. Commercially by the liquefaction and fractional distillation of air. We know that air has 78% nitrogen. We know that air has 78% nitrogen. So from that air, by liquefaction of nitrogen, we can make major amount of nitrogen commercially. Dinitrogen is produced commercially by the liquefaction and fractional distillation of air. Liquid dinitrogen boiling point is 77.2 Kelvin. Meaning of that 77.2 Kelvin, 273 minus 77.2. Minus 195.8 degrees centigrade. 77.2 Kelvin is nothing but minus 195.8 degrees centigrade. Meaning lower than minus 195 degrees centigrade only nitrogen is existed in the form of liquid. Greater than minus 195.8 means 0, room temperature 25 degrees centigrade, nitrogen is existed in the form of gas. Is it okay? This is the boiling point of dinitrogen, 77.2 Kelvin. Distills out, first leaving behind liquid oxygen. First oxygen will be separated, because what are the major components present in air? Major components present in air are nitrogen and oxygen. Okay, by the liquefaction, first liquid nitrogen distills out, leaving oxygen. Oxygen boiling point is 90 Kelvin, dinitrogen boiling point is 77.2 Kelvin. So in this way dinitrogen is going to be prepared commercially. Next, in the laboratory. In the laboratory, dinitrogen is prepared by treating an aqueous solution of ammonium chloride with sodium nitrite. Ammonium chloride with sodium nitrite. NH4Cl aqueous solution means dissolved in water, reacts with NaNO2 aqueous solution to form N2 gas plus 2H2O liquid plus NaCl aqueous solution. This is the equation we will get. When ammonium chloride reacts with sodium nitrite, we will get nitrogen gas. This is in laboratory we are going to prepare. Commercially, we will prepare nitrogen from air only, liquefaction of air. Next, small amounts of NO and HNO3 are also formed in this reaction. These impurities can be removed by passing the gas through aqueous sulfuric acid containing potassium dichromate. Potassium dichromate formula K2Cr2O7. Small amounts of Na and HNO3 are also formed in this reaction. These impurities can be removed by passing the gas through aqueous sulfuric acid containing potassium dichromate. It can also be obtained by the thermal decomposition of ammonium dichromate. So this is one of the preparations, and one more preparation is ammonium dichromate. When it is heated, it will undergo thermal decomposition. Thermal decomposition is nothing but in presence of heat energy, one compound will be formed as two or more compounds. That is called decomposition reaction. And in presence of heat energy, if it is happened, that is called thermal decomposition. To form N2 plus 4H2O plus Cr2O3. N2 plus 4H2O plus Cr2O3. This type of reaction is called thermal decomposition. Thermal is the term related to heat energy. When we supply heat energy, decomposition of a substance will be happened, that is called thermal decomposition. Next, very pure nitrogen can be obtained by the thermal decomposition of sodium or barium azide. BaN3 twice is called barium azide. If it is heated, it will undergo decomposition to form barium plus 3N2. Very pure nitrogen is going to be happened without any impurities. BaN3 twice to form BaN3 twice to form barium and nitrogen gas. These are the three preparations, 1, 2, 3 in laboratories. By using this third method, very pure nitrogen can be obtained by the thermal decomposition of sodium or barium azide. Okay, these are the preparation techniques of nitrogen gas.